Hello, babes. Happy Thursday, 10 a.m. here in California. But our guest is, I think, 7 p.m. in Barcelona. So, really excited to be able to have Sergio Bejar Martinez join us today, learn more about Blimburn Seeds and BBG Productions and everything else he's been doing. This man has been active in the cannabis space globally for decades. So really excited to have been approached by his team for this amazing opportunity to share his story with you. So let's see, I will get them added. And yep, I just had to make sure real quick I was on the right account. I was like, oh, I'm not on my personal, am I? But no, we're good. We only use that one as a backup these days. So, yes, got lots of exciting things going on. It's definitely a busy day here in California. Oh, hello. Here we go. We will get started. One of these will work. I keep hitting accept. Let's see. Perfect.
All
Hi,
right.
Sergio.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Trying to fix this
Oh,
so
yes.
we can see each other.
Yeah. No, this is great. I love the hat.
Thank you very much.
So, wow, I was reading your bio and there's so many different things that you've done. But I do like to usually start and ask my guests, why cannabis? What first drew you to the plant in order for you to go on and really create quite a legacy of your own in the space?
Well, I was an outsider. I'm not anymore, but I was an outsider, all right?
Mm,
We have to go back to the year 2001. In that period of time, I was searching for a new job. In that time, I was working in clothing, for a really big company in Europe that we were selling, like sportwear. But because the whole market was changing, the brands that were having their own stores instead of selling to other stores, and I was the sales director.
okay.
So I thought that my future probably wasn't going to be that great in a couple of years. So in that moment, I got reconnected with some people that I used to work years before when I was like 24, 25. Those guys, they were called Calibre Cero, and they had a wholesale company that they were selling everything that you will see like in a typical tourist shop in Europe, okay? Like t-shirts of music groups, pipes, bongs, rolling papers, grinders, so they contact me in that time and they were like, hey, Sergio, how are you doing? I never lost the contact with my network. So they were like, listen, what's something is going on in Spain, that the people they used to buy from us, grinders and pipes and bongs, some of them they are starting opening shops that they sell. Besides paraphernalia, they're selling everything that you need to grow your own wheat. All right. So
Mhm.
we don't want to mix. We are a little bit scared. So we want to create that company. The name of that company was called Green Guide, and we want you to take care of it. We're gonna give you a percentage of the company. We're gonna give you exactly the same salary that you were making, and we're gonna wholesale nutrients, equipments, seeds, everything that you need to grow cannabis. And I remember when they asked me about this proposal, going back to my father and going with a Cáñamo magazine. Cáñamo magazine is the oldest magazine in Spain that they were talking about cannabis. So I
Mm.
went with that magazine and said, "Okay, Daddy, this is what I'm gonna do from now on." And he was like, "But okay, guy, but you're gonna sell drugs." No, exactly. I'm gonna sell everything that you need
Yeah.
to grow drugs. But I
Yeah.
say, okay, imagine for a moment that I decide to work for a vineyard or a wine company. At the end, could be the same. And well, at the end, I went for it, and now almost 26 years ago, we're still here, and at the end, I was totally an outsider. In that moment, I remember starting selling nutrient products, and you have grow and you have bloom. Okay. It depends of if you're in the growing time of the plant period of the time, or you're in the flowering time. And I didn't know what was the meaning of grow and bloom in that
Oh,
time.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've learned a lot then in through the years.
Yeah, and I have to be very, I have met amazing people during all this time, people that I consider part of our family right now. And I have, I have learned so much. I remember the first time that I went to Holland. I slept in the house of Jay Jackson. Jay Jackson is the owner of Advanced Nutrients of Holland. Doesn't have nothing to do with a Canadian
Okay.
company. And I remember going to his house. He was teaching me how to do clones. He was teaching me to, how do they were using the hydroponic systems. You know, yeah, it was amazing times, because everything was so new, and it was like an adventure because everything was new. It was
Yeah.
maybe 30 shops, 35 shops in Spain. Now we have more than 1,000
Oh,
shops.
oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah,
That's amazing. And yet, so I'm always interested in the legislation places, right? Like the laws and what change things. So, obviously we have a lot of great big festivals in Spain, including your International Cannabis Awards, right?
yeah,
Like, and that just passed. That
yeah,
was I saw my dear friend Luna
yeah,
actually won an award there, so that was lovely. But Luna has also been very clear on what are the rules, and I did have a friend who went to Spannabis for the first time this year and came back and said he got in trouble for not arrested in trouble, but like his friends were like, dude, don't do that out here. And so there are a lot of different rules. So I
yeah.
imagine does that, because there are so many restrictions still, does that mean that the home grow are more people growing perhaps in Europe their own home grow than other places?
I,
Or what is that relationship?
yeah,
Because I just find it
uh,
so fascinating. Yes, you've been helping people grow drugs, thanks, Dad. Which does he still think that way? I'm curious. But
you-
also, you've given people the empowered people with the tools to create the medicine that they've needed.
yeah,
So it's interesting.
exactly. Okay, we are in the European Union. We have so many rules in common, but each country is different. In that time when we started, for example, in France, was almost a little bit dangerous to wear a shirt with a leaf on it, just like 100 kilometers, 200 kilometers from where I live. But Spain was in that time, since our dictator died in 1975, everything all the freedom came like in a very big dimension. So in Spain and in most of the countries in Europe, it's not illegal to use drugs. You're not doing anything wrong if you use drug, any kind of drug.
Okay.
The only you can get in trouble if you are using drugs in a public place,
Mm.
okay? Or you can get in trouble if you carry drugs in a public place.
Okay.
But everything that you do in your privacy, you are not doing anything against the law. Even if you buy for you, you are not doing anything against the law. You cannot sell and make profit of it. You cannot make profit. So it's like, okay, the maximum that it could happen in Spain years ago, if they catch you smoking in the street or carrying some weed with you in a public place, is you get a fine. You get it used to be like around in yeah, in the early 2000, it was less than 300 euros, 300, it was like
Okay.
$150.
Yeah.
Right now it changed, they change it, now right now it depends how the police consider if you is for your own use or they think that you're going to sell something. They don't have like exactly number, but if they catch you in the street with something, at the end you can do an appeal, to the court, and most of the time nothing is going to happen to you. All
Okay.
right. So because to use drugs is not illegal, if you grow drugs for your own use, you are not doing anything illegal. In fact, you can grow for you, but the law is a little bit tricky. You have to grow in the way that nobody can see it. Because if
Okay.
someone can see it, they want to steal it from you, and it's like you are provoking them to do
A crime.
something wrong.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
right.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
That's right.
Okay.
So and also it's not like a number of plants that you can grow. You know, the law is very, it's not really a law, you
Yeah.
know, about it is, it's like, you know, if they catch you, okay, you have like four plants in your balcony, or you have like a tent in your room, and your filter got broke, and your neighbor called the police because it's smelling cannabis. They got into your house. They see that you are growing five plants, all right? Okay, you know, you have to prove that it's for you or for the people in the building, or even for you and some friends. If
Hmm.
you can prove in front of the judge that it's gonna be for consumption, that you are not going to do any money for it, you are not going to give it away, it's that this growing area is for three or four people, or for you it's not, nothing is going to happen to you. So it doesn't, I remember in, it was 2006, 2007, we had a customer that used to have a grow shop, and he got busted because in his flat he was living his plants and him, not him and his plants. He got like five rooms, plenty
Hmm.
of it, and just a small room that he was sleeping. So the police came into it. He went, they had a trial, but he was saying, guys, I'm doing hash. I have to grow so much to do hash.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
use that much hash every day. They gave him back the plants were dead, of course, but they gave him plant all the equipment,
Wow.
everything back to him.
Wow.
So
Okay. Okay.
we are very lucky in the way that has been in Spain so far. Of course, we would love to have a regulation, you know, so the people could be feeling a little bit more safe, you know, that okay, I know that I have four plants, five plants, 10 plants, whatever, I know nothing can happen to me. But it's
Yeah.
not like this. In Germany now it's like that. Germany now it's
Okay.
allowed to have your, I think it's five or six plants per person,
Hmm.
and it's written on the law, so nothing happened to you if you haven't. In Spain, if you get busted, you are gonna get nothing. They're not gonna get you. They're gonna put you in jail. You're gonna have a trial. You're gonna prove that it's for your consumption, and nothing is gonna happen at the end.
Interesting. Interesting.
In the same thing is based the social clubs. The social clubs, they are growing or buying cannabis for the members, not to make money, to
Hmm.
share it with the members. That's how it works. The system of the social clubs in Spain, but I have to say in Catalonia, because I think, you know, it's the only place that they are really a bunch of social clubs, and they want to stop them. You know, that I think the mayor now in Barcelona is happy with the social clubs. I hope it's something that has to come from the government in Spain, but I hope it doesn't happen, because I think there is two ways that you can have really good weed. You know, being a member of a social club or
Hmm.
growing your own.
Yeah. Yeah. And not, I don't know about in Europe, but um, yeah, not everyone has the capacity to grow their own. Some of us have black thumbs. I find it really interesting for you being such a creative and such an entrepreneur, right? You've started many businesses, but then also this passion for the plant. So, and growing yourself. How have you and is business also an equal passion? Because I feel like reading your resume and everything that you've done, you have to be equally as passionate about growing these businesses as you are these plants.
Yeah, I'm not an expert grower, okay? I know so many experts, so I have learned so much from them, you
Yeah.
know? What I have grown has been for my own, because I like to try our genetics, and I had tried to make it as simple as possible, so I know that people that they are gonna try it, they know exactly what to do just to make it simple, okay? But if you put me in a growing area with an indoor area with 10 lamps, probably I know a lot, you know, but I have not done myself, you know, that, you know,
Okay.
about business, you know, I'm always has been an entrepreneur, you know, before in my, when I was like 23, 24, I used to have one. They only were two shops in Barcelona that they were selling graffiti paint, hip hop music, clothing, you know. And I was before hip hop even started in Spain, you know. I was there. I think I started too early,
Oh
you
yeah,
know, for that, you
you're
know.
a hip hop head. Are you a hip
Yeah, I
hop
used to
head,
know. I
Sergio?
did I did I did my senior year of high school in the United States.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
Where?
in North Augusta High School in South Carolina. So in
Okay.
that it was 1989, 1990. So everything was like
Oh
starting.
yeah.
So when
It
I
was a
came
good
back to
time.
Spain, I bring all my tapes and everything that I discovered over there, and yeah, I really like it
Okay.
hip hop at that time.
Did you try cannabis back then? When did you first try cannabis?
When I was 14 years old and I tried hash.
Okay.
Okay, we didn't have good quality weed until the late 90s, early 2000. In the 80s and the early 90s, everything that the only cannabis that we were able to get was hash from Morocco. So at the end, I tried hash, when I was like 14 years old, and it was something that I really didn't enjoy it,
Mm-hmm.
that much. It's like they it's like well and it didn't make me feel that good.
Yeah.
But I tried weed my first time in the United States when I was in high school, and
Okay.
the effect was totally different. It was much more fun.
Yeah.
But I used to be a tobacco smoke. I used to smoke like almost 2 packs a day of cigarettes, of Marlboro Red.
Okay.
I
Oh
quit
yeah.
in Yeah,
I remember those days
I
too.
quit in 2007, 2008.
Yeah.
So a bunch of years ago. So the way I don't do that much cannabis. When I do it, I really enjoy edibles. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I same. I like a good edible as well. So the seeds, I'm really interested in, Blimburn seeds. First of all, um, you know, I have so much more to learn about cultivation and about genetics and things. And this has been a blessing for me to be able to ask questions of people like you the last 5 years, right? And learn so much through the stories. But when did the seeds become important to you? And for me, I look at that's a way of preserving like the heritage of the plant. And so
Mhm.
I'm fascinated by the business as a whole.
Okay, can you repeat the question, please?
Oh yes. When did you transition to seeds, and what is that business like for you? Like,
Okay, all right.
you
We
do
start.
business all over the
We st
world.
we start selling seeds at the very beginning, but the seeds that we were selling, they came from the Netherlands, from Holland in that time, the big brands, that they still in business, and we have so much respect for all of them, like Sensi Seeds, like Dutch Passion, like Greenhouse, at the end, we have a really good relationship with all of them. We know each other for so many years. So at the end, when in our wholesale company, we were distributing some of those brands. And in that time, most of them, they were regular seats. But it's true, that there are some Spanish people, they start, trying to investigate and to become better with doing feminized seeds. So in that time, brands like Sweet Seeds, Dynafem, Eva Seeds, they were the pioneers. They were the ones that they started as a brand in Spain selling seeds, feminized seeds, and competing with the Netherlands. And because of all the legal situation, the Netherlands they started switching production from the Netherlands to Switzerland, and from Switzerland to Spain, because in Switzerland also got fucked up also.
Okay.
So at the end, so many people start producing seeds, so many seed banks start, in Spain, and we were a wholesale company with a really good network with grow shops. So at the end, people that they used to sell clones in the grow shops,
Mhm.
they stopped selling clones and start doing feminized seeds from those elite clones. Okay. And
Mhm.
because we had the network, we had people asking, okay, we need seats, we need people doing seats. So we were putting everybody in touch. And at the end, we became, a very powerful company selling seats to everyone.
Yeah.
But in 2007, 2008, we started Blimburn as a brand, even though we were dealing with seats years before,
Mhm.
deciding, okay, I think well that we have a very clear idea of what we want to do. We want to do something different than the other ones. I think we were one of the first European company having like a US uh, line, in our catalog
Yeah.
from the United States. So that's how we started, with Blimburn itself, and
Mm.
how we started, selling seeds to other players in the business.
Wow.
Because we are so lucky to know probably the best seed producers of the world, that they work and they're producing for us.
I have heard you talk about these connections. I feel like relationships have been part of your success.
Yeah, the only way that you can success if you are in the seed business is with relations. Because
Yeah.
all seeds look the same. So it's very easy. If
Yeah.
I'm telling you this seed is that strain, you have to do an act of faith. You have to believe me. Of course, you are gonna find out later on. But when you buy thousands and millions of seeds, you really need to trust the people that is behind.
Mhm.
Because if they want to trick you, you're gonna find out, but maybe it's too late, and you have destroyed your image, your brand, everything. So at the end, the only way to be successful in this business is building up relationships.
Yeah.
That's the only way.
And that integrity, I love that. You're right. It's being able to be someone that others can trust is also how we build those relationships. So
That's right.
did your dad ever change his mind? Were you ever able to get him to look at cannabis
Yeah, yeah,
as
yeah.
something other than a drug?
No, no, he
Yeah.
changed his mind immediately. Of course, it took him like some months, but in the moment that he saw the business, the trade shows around Europe, how we were developing the company. In the past, I was I was a business partner, from High Life magazine from the Netherlands, and me and my ex-partner, that is not the owner of High Life anymore. We did the first, the same year as the Spannabis, we did the High Life VCN, right? So
Oh, wow.
I had been involved in events and in media, so I have had the chance to speak with mayors, with the police department, with so many people, and talking about how to do the things right, with the cannabis industry. So at the end, I'm more than 20 years in this business, doing, very legitimate business, even though we are talking about the plan. And yeah, my whole family, everybody knows what I'm doing. I never has hidden myself about what was our business. Never.
Yeah. That's amazing. I mean, being able to talk with different politicians, being able to host events, being able to build that trust in your community as well. Like that's huge. And then now I'd love to hear more about the International Cannabis Awards and how that came about, because I feel like as someone who's over here, so I'm obsessed with the stories of the plant and its people all around the world, and I've been very fortunate to have different people from different countries reach out to me and share with me some of their experiences. And I'm so like, in my head there's a picture, a map of the world, and that we can go back and travel and see what were, how was it criminalized, what were the tools that were used, and then how did we bring it back, right? And legalize it again. And I just so I'm obsessed with, you've done so much work in countries that I have not had the pleasure to visit myself, and yet I feel like through your International Cannabis Awards, it's created a bridge for me to at least see who some of the people are and find and learn the work that they've been doing. And so it's connected even me to, I think, a lot of the rest of the world. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, with the International Cannabis Award, the idea came talking with Danny Walton. Danny Walton, is our eyes and our soul in the United States. She has been in the industry for so long also. She has been the assistant of Steve DeAngelo for years. She has seen, everything that happened with Harborside. So we know each other now for, I think, for 12 or 14 years, the same time that has passed since I met Steve DeAngelo. And we were talking about, there is a disconnection between different parts of the industry. Okay. First of all, we have America and we have Europe. Of course, it's the rest of the world, but the most powerful industries is the European one and the American one. And there are brands in the United States that they are not in Europe and other way around.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's like a wall instead of being a bridge, all right,
Yeah.
between both communities. Also, at the same time, we have people that works with corporates, people that works with legacy. There's also a disconnection. They don't talk to each other.
Right.
And at the same time, I had been seeing in America for years, also, all the hydroponic industry that has been powerful for years and speaking always because of the legal situation about cucumbers and, and strawberries instead of talking of wheat. So it
Mhm.
was like, okay, let's do like an event that all of us, we can get together. All right. So that's how we came with the idea of International Cannabis Awards. At the same time, we know brands from the United States that they want to get to Europe and the other way around. So I
Yeah.
think we can help,
Yeah.
building a community. This is International Cannabis Awards, even though we have done live edition and virtual edition. Next year we come back live edition. Is in the first stage, that
Yeah.
this is not where is we have done like an amazing gala like 2 years ago in Barcelona in a beautiful building. Everybody from the industry was there, but we need to do it much better. I think now I see every problem like as an opportunity, but I don't know if you know that Spannabis Barcelona has been the last Spannabis. It's not gonna be
Yes.
more,
Yes,
no
that
more
is
Spannabis.
true.
So for us, we were everything was planned. We even have the money down for the building for the venue to do our live event April March 2026 during the week of Spannabis, but now everything had changed. So we are in conversations, with other people, and most probably, and I don't mind to say it, that our event will move to Berlin, to Germany. All
Okay.
right. Because
Okay.
at the end, it's the first country that has legalized cannabis in Europe. And of
Mhm.
course, it's the most, together with France, is the most powerful country in how many people live there and how is the industry. So,
Mhm.
and we have surprises, if ever, we're going to be able to talk more about it in about 1 month from now. But yeah, we hope next year, our event is going to be even bigger than the one that we were doing in Barcelona. But and also, the voting is popular. It's
Yeah.
popular voting. So at the end, it depends on the capacity of the brands that they are nominated, that they can make that the followers or the people that they like them, they vote for them. But at the same time that they vote for them, they're voting for like 25 or 30 more different categories. So at the end, we want to be as fair as we can,
Yeah.
and as the years go by and most people is going to vote, more fair are going to be the awards,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Last year,
Yeah.
these 2 years, I think we have had like between 13,000, 14,000 people voting already.
Wow. That's a lot of people.
It
That's
is,
a
I
lot
know,
of
it is,
people. That's
it is,
exciting.
it is, it is.
So what's coming up next for you? So you said in a month you'll have more that you can share about that. So we'll definitely have to have you come back sometime, Sergio. Anytime, you're always welcome. But what do you have, what's really the next big thing for, you personally, but also, maybe for Spain or for Europe, or, what do us ignorant Americans need to know before we come over? Or, and I say that, like, I laugh a lot of the times. I feel like a lot of our Uber drivers over here probably speak more languages than anybody that's getting in the Uber, right? And there's like a disconnect. And so um yeah, I feel like, we have this idea over here that we know so many things. And I was even fascinated to learn that cannabis had been criminalized in other countries before it was in America, because we always like to say it started with Anslinger. And I was like, I don't think it did not. It always starts with us though, right? Yeah, what are some things that maybe us Americans need to know more about the European market, or should just be more aware of? And also, how do we all come together globally to help, right?
Well, I think internet, it has really bad things, but also they have really good things, So it's a very easy way to build up communities, But of course, I like real things, So at the end, the best way that you can really feel how the things are in other countries, you have to visit them. But it's not just about Europe, it's about, what happened in Thailand. It was also really amazing from one day to the other one. I think Thailand right now probably is like they legalize all the way. Say, okay, how many? Yeah, I think I don't know if you can carry like a kilo in the street, something crazy like this,
I've
and
heard it's really
yeah,
wild. Yeah,
yeah,
that
and
it
it's
and
like
that
it's
they're
I
trying to
had
roll it back even.
we had been in the moment that they legalized, we tried to have our company there, but I have to say that in Thailand, seeds became really, really good at the beginning, but I think now they have all of them they have done their mother plants and they don't buy seeds anymore. And they are producing with like crazy, for the tourists. And
Huh.
it's like you have like a dispensario, like instead of a food truck, a weed truck, like every 100 meters, it's totally crazy,
Is
and the
it
market
too
is
much
oversaturated.
though?
I think
Do you think
it's
it's too?
oversaturated, but
Yeah.
I think it's oversaturated if I see I see it in a business point of view. But as a consumer, it's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fucking amazing because it's like you just have to get out. You get out of a restaurant, you just have to look around you and probably you only have to walk like 1 minute to get weed. Yeah,
Wow.
it's crazy, crazy. And I
Okay.
think, everything is, I think that's, I believe in regulation. I believe also in try to give so much information so we can have our kids, safe, before they get into cannabis because of course, cannabis, I cannot say that cannabis is totally safe. It depends of
Right.
the person that is using it. It depends how you use it
Yeah.
and the reason why you're using it. So
Yeah.
I think, that it has to be a regulation. It doesn't have to be crazy. And most of it, to protect people that probably they are not going to feel good with cannabis and often people, teenagers and kids. That's, I think,
Yeah.
for me, the most important thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it interesting when you said that you first tried hash at 14 that it was too strong for you, but then when you waited a little longer. I know for me, cannabis didn't hit me, I guess, right until my 30s. When I was younger, I would just get too high. I'd be too high to do anything, and then I don't like. I'm a very productive person. I like being productive. But as I got older and I had been like overproductive for too long, it helped me really learn to slow down and just be present. And I think that's where it's been. The magic has been, as it teaches me to really be present and then find the magic in every moment.
Yeah, that's right.
So what is next for you then? What is coming up for
Next,
you and for
I'm
Blimburn
gonna be in New
CBD
York next
Festival?
week. So
Oh,
I'm gonna be in the
great.
United States. Yeah, I'm gonna be for 420 in New York,
Okay.
and we have some surprise that I'm not able to speak today, but maybe tomorrow. But yeah, we're gonna be there with some friends, with some new collaborations that we are doing with people from America. Yes, it's gonna be great. I think we are trying to be there. Myself, I'm gonna be there for sure. I'm gonna know today if Steve D'Angelo is gonna be able to join me also there. And I
Great.
think that that really nice things are gonna happen on next, in 2 Sundays from now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, that's exciting. So 420. So anyone in the community might know that you're going to go out and see, or any
You
events that
should
you're planning out
you
there?
should follow Happy Monkey and
Oh, well,
you
of
will be
course
aware of
I
everything.
do. Those are my guys.
Then
I had a call with Joe today.
you will be updated.
Oh yeah, no. Well, that's awesome. I was actually Vlad and I were texting just the other day, and I got a call with Joe today because I'm also coming out to New York, but not until May. I wish I was coming for 420 now. I'd love to
Yeah.
meet you in person.
And after 420 in 8 days, yeah, we're gonna be in Berlin in ICBC. We
Oh
have
yeah.
we have a booth there, and I have the Talman House the day before ICBC also. So yeah, Germany is like really going really well for our company. So that's why we're gonna do ICBC. We're gonna do Talman, before ICBC, and we're gonna do also a Mary Jane in June. Yeah,
That's
so it's
exciting.
it's yeah, your Mary Jane, they told me that last year it was sold out. They needed to close the doors because they couldn't fit nobody else inside, and the place is
Oh,
huge.
wow.
Yeah,
That's really
yeah.
exciting. And where is that held? Is Mary Jane also in Berlin?
Also in Berlin, yeah.
Yeah.
Mary
Wow.
Jane is more like a festival,
Mhm.
and ICBC is a real B2B show that if you want to make business, is that's the place that you must go right now. Now that
Okay.
Spanavis is not anymore in Barcelona, I think that probably ICBC is going to be the
The big
most
one.
important place to be in Europe during the year.
Yeah.
If you want to be someone in the business, in the cannabis industry in Europe, you must be there.
Ah, I keep getting invited. I need to come out. I need to come out. I'm definitely ready. I've had the itch now for a couple years. My daughter's older. I recognized the other day I haven't left yet because that's my own empty nest syndrome is I'm the one leaving the nest, not her. So but I'm getting itchier. I'm definitely ready and I'm excited. I'll be in New York next month. I'll be in Chicago in June. And I feel like coming out to visit you out in going to Spain, going to Berlin. I
Barcelona
dream of
is,
Morocco.
yeah.
I just there's a lot of places to go and capture more stories.
Barcelona is a great place to be, even though we don't have Spanish, because you still have like a bunch of social clubs that you can go. I can recommend you a couple of them. I have to say it, Choco Barcelona is my favorite one.
Okay.
I love it. They have the best weed and the best atmosphere. They do every month like an art exhibition that they change it every month.
Mm.
So it's just amazing, yeah.
Yes, I want to go do things like that. I love it. An art exhibition and great weed, like and the community. Yeah, yeah, live for this. Well, thank you so much for joining me and sharing. I definitely would love to have you come back anytime. It's been fun to do a little live and I was happy to see a lot of people join us as well. And yeah, thank you,
Perfect. Call me
Sergio.
anytime that you need me.
Yeah,
Feel welcome if you come
thank
to Barcelona. You have my contact. I can show you the city. I
you.
am born and raised in Barcelona, so that's my city.
Oh, I would love that. I will let you know. I need to make this happen. I've got my PR person over there and yes, this is a to do. Thank you so
Perfect.
much. It's been such a pleasure hearing your story.
Thank you for
Take care.
everything. Thank you for having us. Bye bye. See you.
Bye.